It's a pleasure to be here with all of you, to see you here, and I hope that you will all very much enjoy today's event, today's conference. I was very honored to receive the invitation to speak to you, and I want to make sure to take this opportunity both to share a little bit about the work that Canada is doing in Ghana to support women, their empowerment and their mental health, but also to speak to you from my own personal experience and tell you what it's been like as a diplomat to make my way through my career, through the world, and deal with my own mental health. So let me start by saying a few words about Canada and our role. Canada is a country that takes the question of gender equality and empowering women and girls very seriously. We see this as one of our core values, and it affects all of our work around the world as well as in Canada. We have what we explicitly call a feminist foreign policy, and that foreign policy then guides our relations with other countries and also with multilateral institutions. So that includes things like advocating around the issues of gender equality, advocating for women's and girls' empowerment. It means we talk a lot about human rights and the importance of respecting diversity, all of those good things. It also affects things like our positions around defense issues, which you wouldn't necessarily think of. There's a whole agenda out there called the Women, Peace and Security Agenda, and that has grown out of the fact that we recognize that when women are not involved in peace processes, for example, then those peace processes don't last as long. They're not as effective. So we need to engage women, and we have been playing a leadership role in trying to do that. Ghana is a very important partner for us in that way through something called the ELSI initiative, which is looking to support women in their role in participating in peace operations around the world. Ghana does a great job of sending peacekeepers to many different places. A large number of those peacekeepers are women. That's great. But we are working with the Ghana Armed Forces to look at what are some of the barriers that women still face in being able to take part in such operations, and what can we do to help women continue to advance in their careers. Another way that we engage on gender equality and women's empowerment is through our whole approach to trade and investment. And we are of the view now that we need to be supporting trade and investment that works so that growth works for everyone, so that it's not only a few individuals in a company that benefit from trade and investment, but that the whole community benefits from trade and investment, and that includes the women and the children of that community. So we spend a lot of time talking about responsible business conduct and how companies can work with their local communities. And then we have a whole development cooperation program here, and we are very proud of the work that we've been doing over many years, since in fact the first year of Ghana's independence. And let me just give you a few highlights of the ways in which we are supporting women and girls. So we, in 2017, after significant consultations, our government came out with a Feminist International Assistance Policy, which guides all of the work that we do through all of our development cooperation around the world. So for Ghana, what that means is we have been working on issues around gender-based violence, around child early and forced marriage, around child protection, and we recognize, of course, that with the COVID pandemic, the situation for women and girls has in many cases gotten worse, and so we've also tried to add in components that specifically address the impact of COVID. We've been working in the health sector for a long time. We have been supporting maternal, newborn, and child health. Again, we've added in some elements recently to support hygiene measures in maternal hospitals because of the COVID pandemic specifically. But we also work on issues of sexual and reproductive health and education. We've been working on educational issues, not so much in the construction of schools, for example, but in helping to ensure that girls can actually go to school. In some cases, that has meant supporting sanitation measures and menstrual hygiene support, so that women are able to actually be in school and take best advantage of learning opportunities. We also feel very strongly about engaging girls and women in STEM, in science, technology, engineering, and math, so that they can bring their brilliance to these fields. On the governance side, we have been supporting gender-based analysis as being a really important tool for governments to use to take decisions, so that when they are thinking about what measures they want to put in place in their country, they're thinking specifically about what are the gender aspects of those policies, of those programs. And we've also been putting emphasis on the importance of gender budgeting. So again, when a government develops a budget, they are thinking about the implications for women, specifically women and girls, of what that budget is planning to do. And of course, we've been helping women who are interested in running for office to be able to make those dreams come true. Finally, on the economic side, we have been working within the TVET system to help develop skills training courses for women, especially in non-traditional areas that women have not generally been thought of as, like mechanics or things like that. We have been trying to work within those sectors to overcome stereotypes that mean that women feel shy about working in some of these sectors. We've been providing some financing for small and medium enterprises and micro enterprises, because we understand that women are often at the heart of entrepreneurship, and we want to support them as much as we can. And finally, we've been working very much in the agriculture and the agribusiness sector to support women farmers, to support women's role in the value chain. Yesterday was Farmers' Day, of course, which I hope we all had a chance to celebrate, and I was very proud to reflect on the work that we have done to support women farmers over the years in Ghana. In all of that, we've been advocating for gender disaggregated data, because the only way we can ever know if our programs and anybody's programs are successful if we can actually look at the data and see what changes are being made. So in Ghana, we've also been paying close attention to the priorities of the government, the Ghana Cares program to help bring Ghana out of the effects of the COVID pandemic. Our programming is very much aligned with that. So I hope you take from this that we are very engaged with Ghana. We are very interested in continuing to work with Ghana, and we are very interested in Ghana's long-term success. As you can probably tell, I'm pretty passionate about this issue. And so I want to turn now from my official role and talk to you a little bit from a personal perspective about mental health issues and what they have meant for me. So first, let me start by saying I consider myself a feminist. I know that for many people that word has a negative connotation. People think of feminists as being people who hate men, women who hate men. That's not at all the case with me, at least. I love men. I love my husband. I love my son. I love my father. I appreciate all the men in my life who are my colleagues, my friends. And so when I speak as a feminist, I want you to keep that in mind. When I received the invitation for today's event and I saw the topic that the Women Connect conference had chosen, of women on the go, staying mentally healthy as you juggle every day, I thought, this is a topic that really resonates with me, because that is my life. I'm juggling every day, and I am a woman on the go. So that's why I agreed to come talk to you today, because it is a topic about which I'm so passionate. So let me tell you a little bit about the life of a diplomat. I joined our Ministry of Foreign Affairs in 1993. And so it's almost 30 years now. And during that time, I have spent more of my adult life living outside of Canada than in Canada. This is now my 7th posting abroad, living in 6 different countries, and of course Canada in between. Thank you. What that has meant is that every 2, 3, 4 years, we pack up our boxes and we move somewhere else. I know some of you also know this kind of life, but it's been wonderful. It's been fantastic. I have so loved getting to see so many different countries and cultures and getting to know people around the world. But it also, as you can imagine, brings with it challenges and stresses. And so let me talk about those. I have been blessed with a family, a husband and 2 children. So as much as it has been challenging for me to pack up and move and start a new job, it's been equally challenging for them. The children have had to change schools many times. My husband has had to leave all his friends behind, arrive in a new community, make new friends. We've had to get our lives organized and figure out childcare, all these things that I know all of you deal with as well. And so we've had to think about how we can manage this lifestyle and make sure that we're paying attention to mental health. So let me take these last few minutes just to tell you what I have done or how I have tried to approach mental health in my own life. There are the obvious things that everyone will tell you. I'm sure you'll hear some of it today. Things like getting regular exercise, getting enough sleep, healthy eating habits, making time for yourself. Those are all really important things. I can't say I've always succeeded in finding the right balance, but I do try. Of course, there's the importance of spending quality time with your family. Quality over quantity, I say, and we can't, even if we can't be with our families all the time, you want to make sure that when you are together, you are enjoying each other's company and taking the time to connect. I've been very fortunate to have a spouse who has supported me in my career, who has been willing to move around like this, to give up his own job, his own career ambitions, to stay with the children when they were younger, and that has, of course, been very, very helpful. But there are other ways as well in which I've thought about mental health. And one of them is to really take the time to reflect on what I take pride in. I take great pride in the work that I do. I'm very passionate about my career. I get a lot of satisfaction out of that. So I need to think about that and remind myself of all of the ways in which that is supportive and that helps me feel better. I feel it's really important for everyone, including myself, to get away on holiday from time to time. And I'm not sure what the holiday culture is here, but I make sure to take at least 2 weeks in a row of holiday, because if you're away from the office for less than a week, your mind never really disconnects. You're always thinking about work, and you need to be able to get away from your work life and just let your mind relax and spend that time with your loved ones. I've also come to realize the importance of what I think of as the sisterhood of my friends, of my colleagues, in all the ways that I connect with them. There are more and more Canadian ambassadors who are women around the world, and we have a little chat group, and we often talk to each other about what it's like to be a woman ambassador or a woman high commissioner, and you know, we laugh about some of those challenges of walking into a room and realizing you're the only woman head of mission in that room and everyone else is a man, and you know, little things that come up in our day-to-day lives, and that's been really supportive. I also was blessed to discover when I arrived in Accra that there is a very large community of women diplomats here. We are about 20 women who are heads of mission, and that also has been an incredible network of support, and we meet each other regularly, we talk to each other about some of those challenges, and it's been a very supportive environment. In those relationships, I feel strongly that it's important for us all to be open, to really be honest in sharing what we're going through, the challenges we face, so that we can really connect on a human level with our colleagues and friends. And that in that way, when you make those connections, then you know that you're also getting honesty back from those people. I have also been fortunate over the course of my career to have been mentored, to have been championed, to see my career supported by women who were senior to me in our ministry, and I very much appreciated that, and I feel that it's now time for me to be doing the same kind of thing to support the younger women with whom I work, to be championing their careers, to make sure that they have opportunities and that they know that they are appreciated. I've also over a period of my life, I have been seeing a therapist at one point, and I say that specifically because I know that there is still such a strong stigma around mental health, and that people are embarrassed to talk about it. They don't want to admit that they've ever had that need. I did so because I wanted to help kind of balance some things in my life, and I found it incredibly useful. And one of the things that it helped me deal with was to be easier on myself. I'm the kind of person who has set myself very high expectations. I like for everything to be perfect. And talking to this therapist has helped me realize that we can't expect perfection in every element, in every aspect of our lives. And it's not even important to have perfection in every aspect. So you have to let go of things. You have to, lower those expectations around certain things, while also, of course, keeping your expectations of yourself and others high for the things that really matter, right? So that has been super helpful, and it has also helped me to recognize and again, take time to reflect about what my own strengths are, my own skills are, to be proud of those, to recognize that I'm not maybe the best in everything that I do, but I bring something to the job. I bring some strengths, and I appreciate myself for that. And I think the bottom line message for all of us is that we have to love ourselves first. And I think Emily said it in the introduction, that the only person who's going to take care of you is you. So we all have to do that. We all have to think about ourselves. We all have to understand what is important for us and find the ways that we can support ourselves. So those are the messages I wanted to leave you with today. It's been a great pleasure to be here with you. I wish you an excellent day of discussions. As a woman on the go, I'm very sorry that I will not be able to stay with you for the whole morning. I have some other engagements. But I'm really pleased that I had the opportunity to connect with some of you and to meet so many of the other guests of honor who are speaking today. So thank you again.